Welcome to Quaderno Academy, empowering excellence through education. Join us as we inspire growth and unleash your potential. Let's dive in.
So, when you picture physical therapy, what comes to mind? For most of us, it's probably one patient working one-on-one with a therapist. But what if I told you that some of the most powerful healing doesn't happen alone, but in a group? Today, we're going to take a tour of group therapy in rehabilitation, and it might just change the way you think about recovery. Let's just jump right into that question, shall we? We have this idea that recovery is a solo mission, a personal battle you have to fight on your own. But what if that's only half the story? The evidence we're about to look at suggests that having a community around you can be just as important as your own individual effort. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, this isn't just a casual get-together. We're talking about a really structured, dynamic setting where people with similar challenges work together, with professional therapists guiding the whole thing. Honestly, you can think of it like a team sport for recovery. Everyone has a game plan, and you're all working towards the same goal. All right, our tour starts in a wing you might already be familiar with, physical therapy, or PT. This is all about rebuilding the body, strength, balance, mobility. But how on earth does that work when you do it in a group? Well, for starters, these groups can be surprisingly big and energetic. We're not talking about just a few people here. Research shows a single therapist can effectively lead a group of up to 10 people for conditions like knee osteoarthritis. Imagine the atmosphere in that room. That collective energy is a really powerful force for healing. One of the most popular ways they do this is called circuit class training. Just picture it. You've got a bunch of different stations set up, and each one targets a different movement or skill. Patients rotate through them, which creates this really dynamic, engaging workout. It's an approach that's especially powerful for people recovering from neurological issues because it keeps both the body and the mind on their toes. And the applications for this are incredibly broad. I mean, we're talking about everything from common stuff like knee pain all the way to the massive challenges of recovering from a traumatic brain or spinal cord injury. Group PT has proven to be an amazing tool across the board. It kind of makes you wonder what else this approach could be used for, right? Okay, let's move on to our next stop and see how this all connects. We are now entering the world of occupational therapy, or OT. And this is where the focus starts to shift from just the physical function to something, well, a whole lot broader. This right here, this slide nails the heart of OT. While physical therapy might focus on, say, whether you can bend your knee, occupational therapy asks a different question. It asks, can you kneel down to play with your grandkids? It's all about closing that gap between what your body can physically do and what you need to do to live a meaningful, full life. And because of that focus, the goals here are so incredibly human. Think about an oncology patient finding the strength to cook a meal for their family again, or an older adult regaining the confidence to live on their own. These are the victories OT groups are chasing, tackling not just the physical hurdles, but the emotional and social ones too. And for our final stop on the tour, we're heading into a space where collaboration takes on a whole new level of importance: speech-language therapy. In this world, the group itself is a fundamental part of the treatment. This is where group therapy just shines. A speech therapy group offers something that a one-on-one session never could: a real-world social setting. I mean, you can practice saying words in a clinic all day long, but the real test is using those words to share a story, to crack a joke, or just to connect with another person. That's the magic of the group. For someone who's lost the ability to speak easily because of a stroke or Parkinson's, the world can become a very lonely place. A speech therapy group is a lifeline. It's a safe space where they can practice, make mistakes, and most importantly, be understood by people who get it. It's about so much more than just words. It's about reclaiming your voice and your spot in the world. Okay, so we've been on the tour, we've seen how groups work in PT, OT, and speech therapy, but this all leads to the big question, the one you've probably been wondering this whole time. Is it actually as good as individual care? So what does the research actually say? Well, when it comes to physical therapy, the outcomes are often just as good as one-on-one sessions. But here's where it gets really interesting. In occupational therapy, group work can actually lead to better results, especially for things like emotional well-being. And for speech therapy, the evidence is pretty strong that groups are a fantastic tool for improving communication and overall quality of life. But look, the numbers only tell part of the story. The real secret sauce, the common thread that runs through all these different therapies, is the peer support.
It's that profound human moment when you realize, I am not the only one going through this. That feeling, that sense of shared experience, that's a medicine all by itself.
So, what's the bottom line here? It's simple. Group therapy isn't some budget version of individual care. It's not a substitute. It's a powerful and distinct treatment model in its own right, with unique benefits. Benefits that go way beyond just the physical.
And this all points to a really tantalizing glimpse of the future. What if we could break down the walls between these different therapies? I mean, just imagine a single group where patients work with physical, occupational, and speech therapists all in the same session. The research on this is still new, but it really points toward a future where recovery isn't a solo journey. It's a shared, collaborative masterpiece.
Brought to you by Quaderno KO. Learn smarter, not harder.